Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 1 in a series between Welmu versus Donregu here on Belshir Vestige. I do believe it's Belshir Vestige. My apologies, it's been quite a while since I've actually cast some StarCraft 2. I know a lot of you guys out there are wondering where the casts have gone. I had to go like past 3 or 4 replay sites until I actually found a replay that wasn't more than a week old. It seems like because of WCS2, everyone is sitting on their replays. No one's releasing tournament replays, and that's just one of the reasons why I haven't been able to cast some StarCraft 2. Also, Hearthstone has come out, and because of that, a lot of people have been really just playing that and enjoying that. I hope you guys have enjoyed my cast as well, my playthroughs, my arena, me trying to do that technical analysis to help other players get better as well. Now, this is StarCraft 2 though, Heart of the Swarm, as we see Welmu spawning as the blue Protoss on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom right, we do have MVP Donregu. My apologies, I do not believe I actually did the unit preloader, so if there is a little bit of lag, my apologies there. Now, let's take a look at what's going to be going down here, as the units are now simply making their way out across the map. You can see that the Overlord will be able to get into position and figure out if his opponent does or is placing down a natural expansion. Once that Overlord scouts out this area, it will fly right into this location here and try to hide out of harm's way. Meanwhile, Donregu already opening up with a hatch first in this particular build, and now being very greedy, still not placing down a spawning pool as of yet. Up to 17/18, he is actually going for the incredibly greedy double expand before spawning pool. And Donregu, he notices that there is no next... Oh, he's actually going to block his opponent here. Is he proxy hatchering? What is he doing? Alright, so Donregu is building up a hatchery at his opponent's base. This is perhaps one of the strangest builds I have ever seen, as a spawning pool now comes in here. Now, he could Spinecrawler rush his opponent. This is one of those crazy moves that only high-level StarCraft 2 players or middle-of-the-road gold players try and execute. It can completely catch an opponent off guard. As you can see that the probe is now going to make its way down, spot the hatchery, and then wonder what to do next. You can see that the probe is there, a zealot now making its way over. A queen could be coming out. As you can see now, a pylon is coming into play as well. Alright, a little bit of zap damage right there. You can see probes are coming over. This is an actual threat here, and this will delay the natural expansion for quite some time. So instead of being a 3-2 advantage, as you would have normally thought, Donregu is doing a great job delaying his opponent's extra base. You can see that it is already down to, how much time's left? 97, 98, 99. Is he going to cancel? No, he does not cancel it. There's actually creep there now. He invests 350 resources to prevent this expansion from coming into play. That is absolutely huge there. All those broodlings going to try and take down the pylon. It looks like the broodlings could actually do a lot of damage to it. If they didn't change direction, that would have taken down the pylon, and that would have been a complete worth it trade. 350 resources for 100 resources, and also the delaying of that hatchery. This is still 2 bases to 1. You can see Welmu is responding by going into a Stargate instead, and this is a very important move by Welmu. Welmu realizing that his opponent really sacrificed a lot of resources to pull off that high pressure tactic, and now Donregu surprisingly now going into 3 bases without knowing what his opponent is going for. This is going to be a rather dangerous sign, as the Zerglings are going to try and do a run by. It will spot the Stargate off over here, which should show now Spore Crawlers being constructed. With those Spore Crawlers being constructed, I do believe Welmu is a little bit out of luck. No, Donregu has not placed down any Spore Crawlers yet, as we are now also getting gateways on the front door, and we're going into Phoenixes. Alright, Phoenix, Phoenix play perhaps my least favorite of out of all of those Stargate openings. One Phoenix by itself, not very useful. Two Phoenixes, still not that useful as a queen. One queen at each hatchery can normally take care of things, or even one spore crawler. A void ray can actually attack ground by itself, but then again, the cost of the one void ray versus two Phoenixes. Everyone can make arguments there as the Phoenix now looking for any natural expansions. Meanwhile, a Zealot getting caught midfield there. A Stalker now trying to get away from some Zerglings here. And this has just been an absolute dominating game by Don Regu. Don Regu just using Zerglings and Zerglings alone to try to fend off the attack here. You can see a whole bunch of Zerglings now getting taken down. There is a Mothership core right in position, and it is in fact going to place down a pylon to finish off the wall in. Two Phoenixes have cleared out one Overlord off over here. Stalker now in position there, making sure that the Zerglings do not run by. A probe has scouted out the third base. And somehow Don Regu has a superior army and also a superior economy. Even though he did sacrifice a lot of resources early on, 625 versus 350 resources lost. Take a look at that income difference. Don Regu doesn't really care. Now, you can see these three Phoenixes are looking to take down a couple of easy units. This has not really worked out so far as the Phoenix does back off. Another Overlord could get taken down, but all that is doing is making or costing larva. You can see a new Phoenix has come into play here. There is a Queen down over here with a Spore Crawler. Hydralisk Den is there as well. Alright, Drone does get taken down, but the Spore Crawler doing a little bit too much damage there as a fifth Phoenix is now being added. Alright, this is still not looking all too good. The Phoenixes need to find a target and try and take it down. Spore Crawler at each base, pretty much neutralizing any of this Phoenix harassment. But we are still seeing the Phoenix count continually and gradually rise. That is not going to work out. That Phoenix, you take a look at the army sizes. Active forces 1350 versus 1775, a much larger army by the Protoss, but it is not really doing anything except for picking off drones. I guess that is very strong here, but the drone count is still 20 in favor of Don Regu. So far, Zerglings now just controlling the board, trying to put pressure, keeping Welmu sieged up inside his base with those fast-moving Zerglings, as a couple of Overlords may get taken down. No, a couple of drones getting taken down here, as these Phoenixes and the worker kill count is already getting up to 12. The sad thing, though, is that there is still a 12 or 20 resource or worker difference between these two armies, even though we have 12 worker killed. All right, we are now going into the robotics bay, and this is a beautiful play and follow-up by Welmu. The obvious counter to so many Phoenixes is naturally Hydralisk. But we are seeing the counter to the counter already being built. The robotics bay now coming in, and Welmu just needs to stop his production. Alright, are these Phoenixes gonna find anything else new on the far side of the field? Don Regu is here with a dozen -1 units here. Alright, there goes one drone. Oh, the Phoenixes now need to back away, able to do exactly that. Phoenixes, very effective harassment units. You can see that their shields will once again naturally recharge once more, getting back up to full in just a moment. Meanwhile, one Zealot, no upgrades. Oh, that Zergling, that one poor Zealot getting completely surrounded. He gets sent back to Ire as a couple of Zerglings were taken down there, caught on the wrong side of a force field. 40 supply difference between these two armies. You can see that Welmu is looking all right at this point. He needs to selectively choose his engagements, as we're now looking at a beautiful time warp here, slowing down many of the Hydralisks. Zerglings going up against a lot of Stalkers and other units on the ground field here, and all of these units are just simply too slow. A Colossus now makes his way out. You can see that the Phoenixes are now just caught over those Hydralisks. That was a bad move right there, as the Colossus could try and make a move out, taking down these Hydralisks, but the Hydralisks don't know if they have the +1 attack range to go up against the Colossus. I do know the Colossus does not have the extended thermal lance. I believe the Hydralisks have the muscular augments. I don't know if they have the grooved spines. Coming back around, Phoenix is still flying around here. Corruptors now being added, so the counter to the counter to the counter has finally been built, countering those Colossus with Corruptors. But with the Phoenix number now dropping to or at 3, this is gonna hurt Welmu. Phoenixes do generally do well against Corruptors because the Corruptors are either forced to engage against the Colossus, which is destroying the army, or destroy the Phoenixes, which are attacking them. You can see that there are a whole bunch of Zerglings still swarming out across the field. Extended thermal lance range, level 2 weapons upgrades against level 2 armor upgrades. The Colossus will definitely benefit there, being able to deal, I believe, 16 damage times 2. That could potentially be huge, as we're now looking at the Phoenixes try to fly circles around those around those Corruptors. Perhaps Aeon Pulse Crystals or an Ion Pulse Crystals will be needed. All right, there you go. There's some force field. There is the Guardian Shield. There is Hallucinated Colossus as well, but it is not getting focused down. Beautifully done, knowing not to go after the hallucinations at all. Zerglings able to push their way through, and I do believe that is going to be the GG. A 90 supply difference between these two armies as the Corruptors quickly focus down the Colossus. That is the GG there, excuse me. DRG taking game 1 in this series over Welmu. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game 2.